My husband died on a rainy night in October. They told me it was instant, that he didn't suffer, that the impact was too severe for anything else. They also told me it wasn't his fault. The other driver had run a red light, was speeding, possibly drunk. And just like that, my world collapsed. In a flash of broken glass and twisted metal. His name was Andrew. He was 35. We had been married for 6 years. We had plans, a future. He was supposed to be home that night, with takeout and a stupid grin, telling me he forgot the drinks again, not lying cold in a body bag. The funeral was a blur. I remember the cold. I remember my mother holding my hand too tightly. I remember his brother sobbing into my shoulder. And I remember looking at his phone in the evidence bag. The police returned to me, screen shattered, dead, silent. Just like him, it took weeks before I could bring myself to power the phone on. And when I finally did, it felt like stepping into a mausoleum. Photos of us smiling, our honeymoon in Greece. Little messages like "love you, be home soon" that cut deeper than any knife. I couldn't delete anything. I couldn't even breathe around it. So I left it, dead, unused, tucked in my nightstand drawer like a relic from a past life. Until one night it lit up. I was lying in bed, unable to sleep the usual. The house creaked like it always did after midnight, and I was scrolling through nothing on my phone. Then the drawer buzzed. I froze. It wasn't possible. Andrew's phone had been dead for months. I hadn't charged it. I hadn't touched it. But there it was, glowing faintly in the dark. My hand shook as I opened the drawer. The screen blinked to life. One new message. From Andrew. The message said, "Are you still up?" I dropped the phone. Literally dropped it. My stomach turned to ice. My brain started trying to rationalize. Maybe someone recycled the number. Maybe it was some kind of scam. Maybe I was dreaming. But the contact photo was still there. The message was in our old thread, and it had been sent from his phone number. I didn't sleep that night. I just stared at the phone until it went dark again. The next day, I went to the carrier store. "Can you tell me if this number's been reassigned?" I asked. The guy behind the counter checked. "No," he said, "still inactive. This line is closed." "Are you sure?" He nodded. "It's been out of service since last October." I didn't tell him the rest. Didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? The next message came a week later. "I miss you." Same number, same thread, same photo. I replied this time. "Who is this?" No response. Days passed. Then another message. "Do you still sleep on my side of the bed?" That night, I cried harder than I had since the funeral. The texts kept coming. Not every day, but just enough to keep me awake at night. Little things only Andrew would know. "Did you ever fix the sink?" "You should stop leaving the porch light on." "I'm not coming home." "You looked beautiful today." That one broke me, because I had gone out that day, to the grocery store, hair in a bin, no makeup, baggy hoodie. How would anyone know? I started wondering if someone was watching me. I checked every window, bought cameras, told myself I was being paranoid. But deep down, I wasn't afraid someone was pretending to be Andrew. I was afraid it was him. One night, I replied, "If this is you, prove it." No answer. Not that day, not the next. But 3 nights later, I woke to a sound in the kitchen. A glass clinked. I got up, heart pounding, crept down the hallway. No one was there, except his mug. The one with the chipped handle, the one I hadn't used or touched since he died, was sitting in the sink. Well, I felt the floor sway beneath me. I couldn't move. My phone buzzed in my hand. I always hated that mug. I started losing sleep, missing work. My friends told me I looked pale, detached. They thought I wasn't coping. That grief had turned to delusion. Maybe they were right, but I couldn't ignore the signs. He was reaching out. Somehow, from somewhere. I stopped responding to the texts. I didn't block the number. I couldn't. But I didn't reply anymore. I just watched. They still came. Sometimes once a week. Sometimes once a month. Each one as personal and haunting as the last. Then came the last message I ever received. It was exactly 1 year since Andrew's death. I had lit a candle for him that night, just like I did every month. set it by his photo on the shelf. Sat alone in the dark, watching it flicker. My phone buzzed. One new message. From Andrew. It said, "Thank you for not forgetting me. You can let go now." And just like that, the messages stopped. Completely. I never heard from the number again. I've changed since then. I moved out of the house we shared, started a new job, started seeing someone new, slowly, carefully, but I still think of Andrew, and I still wonder, was it a ghost? A hacker? Grief playing tricks on my mind. I'll never know for sure, but deep down, I felt him. Every message, every moment. And if love is strong enough to last through death, maybe it's also strong enough to find a signal.